Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today's the 16th of March, 2017. And yeah, just let that soak in. Why did they pick this guy? Why does he have such wacky hair? Why does he say everything is somehow alien? Because it's his job. I got a lot of new subscribers, and for those of you that don't know me, the way I woke up was about 9 years ago, maybe 10 now, I'm not sure exactly. I was watching the History Channel, and they were doing a show on the Belgian wave, and they showed this picture that was taken by a detective or a military officer or something to that effect. And when I looked at it, and after Kodak looked at it and said, this is not a photoshopped image, this is an actual image, I became interested. I'm watching the History Channel. They're showing what is clearly a UFO. I don't know any better, so I decide to look into it, okay? I look into it even more, TR3B. Now, literally, some of my subscribers have sent me video. Subscribers right here, like Joseph Berber, right here in Massachusetts, has sent me actual video of these things where you can see it, but I wouldn't use it in a video because it's just not clear enough. But you can literally see it. So long story short, I go over to the computer, I Google this thing, and right there and then the television went off and Richie from Boston became a quote-unquote conspiracy theorist. That's exactly how it happened. And I've never looked back since. I discovered that these were actually made in America. They're probably fallen angel technology. And the reason I say that is about 70 generations since they were locked up and no longer able to communicate with us, no longer able to show us how to put on makeup, how to do abortions, how to do all this stuff. I think that time is up, and I think we are the generation because we're seeing technology like you can only read about or dream about. You see what I mean? At any rate, this guy. Somebody sent me a link yesterday. I forget your name, and I apologize. I get a ton of emails. He sent me a link to this, and there was a show about the Great Serpent Mound, and I'm not going to show it because History Channel is not very forgiving. But this guy is showing these petroglyphs out in western United States, and he's like, look at this. These are clearly UFOs, and these are clearly astronauts with antennas. Well, conversely, every single time I saw one, all I saw was a large being, bigger than an antelope, with horns. Nothing more, nothing less. And right next to them are six-toed drawings. Now, that sounds really familiar, doesn't it? Really, really familiar. These are all clearly spacemen. You do realize that before 1940, there really wasn't anything called aliens. None whatsoever. They were simply angels and demons, and people spent their lives carving drawings in tribute to these things. What else can I say? This is from the Great Pyramid. Here's a person, clearly defined. There's a person, and there's another person who seems to be, I'm going to go with giant. Here's what looks like a lotus flower with a god, a bird-headed god holding it up. And it looks like a light bulb, right? Could be, couldn't be, I don't know. Or maybe this is just a portal coming out of a cube right here with a serpent coming out, as usual. But I digress. I'm getting off track here. So these guys show all these ancient drawings, and they're showing donkeys dancing around with what appears to be a frog. And they totally switch it over to these are aliens. And it's not what I see whatsoever. They're showing, I can't find the images, and I don't want to use the video because I don't need a strike. They're showing the images of horned people with wings always coming out of a spiral. Well, that's queer. Where else do we see things like this? Well, right here at the Great Serpent Mound. It never even dawned on me when I uploaded this video to my channel in 4K, and for some reason YouTube keeps downgrading it to just high def or whatever. But at any rate, it is in 4K. But look at the video. The serpent is not only holding an egg in its mouth, it's swallowing up the cosmic egg, but it's coming out of a spiral. The snake's head is up here, and the snake is coming forward. And again, you can only see this from 600 feet up. It's coming out of a spiral, which would be a portal. Now, according to ancient aliens, this entire place was hit 300 million years ago by a comet going 50,000 miles an hour. I love the arbitrary numbers that these guys come up with all the time. Oh, the comet was going 53,722 miles an hour. It was made out of lithium, iridium, and uranium, and it hit 317 million years ago at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and everybody was very sad. We were there. On the other side of this, there's a creek right here, and we were down there looking at rocks. We found nothing insanely unusual. I did grab a couple of rocks because we collected rocks all over the country. You know what I mean? But according to ancient aliens, if you go to the Great Serpent Mound, your compasses go off the charts. Well, if you saw me at Gravity Hill, we had the compass out. This is a real deal United States military, highly radioactive, because it's got tritium in it, glows in the dark, standard compass. I brought it here and I found nothing like that. So that kind of debunks what they're saying, but everything, this was done by aliens. It wasn't. These guys are simply and only covering up our true history. And they have to, because they can't talk about giants. They can't. They go around it, they go behind it, but they never come face to face with it. These are always, oh, those are antennas on his spacesuit. Okay. The reason they can't do that is because it proves that we are not the biggest and smartest. And just go to a Walmart. I tell you people this all the time. Go to a Walmart and look around. You tell me if evolution's in full swing or are we devolving at a rapid pace? You see what I'm saying? I'm not too proud to admit it. We're not as smart as our parents. We're not as smart and strong and as moral as our grandparents. It's like Trey Smith says, we're a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. We're in a downward spiral. The fact that they're pulling up new technology doesn't mean that we're smarter and better. It means that they are communicating with the dark side or other dimensions exactly like they say. This isn't supposition or it isn't a theory. They say we are connecting with other dimensions, pulling back resources using D-wave quantum computers. The only reason people think we're smarter than ever is because of all the new technology. Let me ask you, is your life better or worse because of technology? Answer truly. Be serious. It's cool having a computer, right? It's cool having a cell phone. But do you really sit down and talk to your family about things? When the lights go out, does your entire neighborhood come together like they did just 20 years ago before movies started telling you your neighbor was going to kill you and everybody was out for each other and so forth and so on? They've broken us down. They've split us all up. They've divided everything. Technology is nothing new. Again, I have to quote the anti-Kythera mechanism. All this ancient technology they show us and then make these ridiculous claims that aliens had something to do with it, or the ancient Greeks, the ancient Egyptians came up with nanotechnology like this by accident. Get out of here with that nonsense. This technology that we have now is simply a weaker version of what they used to have. That's why we have remains and remnants all over the planet, like these in India, carved out of a mountain that goes straight underground, all one solid piece of rock. Yeah, we were real idiots back then. We just figured out how to look at this. Look at this. It's carved out of a mountain. They started with the mountain, they carved into it until there was a temple left standing. This is amazing, unbelievable stuff that we cannot duplicate today. Look at this. Look how intricate it is. And what were these for? Worshipping their gods. Worshipping their gods. According to the book of Adam and Eve, in the cool of the evening, God would come down and walk with Adam. You wouldn't build a temple to a god unless you actually bumped into him or he was standing close by watching over you. You see what I'm saying? Our entire history is a lie. Evolution is nonsensical, and yet it's carved on the side of MIT right here in Boston. Really? Really? Science? Facts? There are no facts. There is no science to Darwinism. There should be millions of missing links everywhere. There should be bones of things turning into other things everywhere. But in the real world, that would never happen, because if a dog decided to turn into an elephant while he was halfway done with it, a lion would come by and eat him. Richie from Boston, I am out.